very good morning to you. It's a Saturday morning here on MX24. The show is Playmakers. We are running from now till the hour of 9. We talk everything football from the local scene to the international scene. Today, we'll focus on the Black Stars team because they are in the finals of the ongoing Africa Under-20 Cup of Nations, and the finals is today against Uganda. So for many, it is a repeat of the last time Ghana won the Africa Cup of Nations in the 80s, in the 70s, and it was Ghana-Uganda. The final was played here in Ghana, which we won. So for Uganda, they see this as an opportunity to revenge that defeat at the hands of Ghana some years back. And also, we look at the Ghana Premier League. Kumasi Asante Kotoko yesterday lost their very first away game at the Indom Stadium when they took on Elmina Sharks. The other games to look forward to this weekend, Interlice yesterday also drew 1-1 with Ashanti Gold. New Accra Heartful coach will begin live at the Accra Stadium this Sunday. That's tomorrow when they come up against Wafa. We'll look at that. Also, we'll take a look at matches that will be played in the English Premier League. Of course, with the top liner between Manchester United and informed Manchester City. That's the Manchester Derby. Elsewhere, when there is time, we take a look at the German Bundesliga as well as the Spanish La Liga, which is also getting very, very interesting with the top game this weekend to look forward to. That's the Madrid Derby. Atletico Madrid, the leaders on the La Liga table, up against the second place team, Real Madrid. All these and more here on the show, which is Playmakers. As always, is interactive, so get through to us on our WhatsApp line, which is 0592-896-001, 0592-896-001. Later, we'll activate the phone lines so you can get to interact with us. So we'll take a quick break. When we come back, we'll go straight into our discussion on Huawei. All right, so you're still here on Playmakers. Thanks so much for staying. So we have to start here from the local scene and discuss what's been happening in the Ghana Premier League, the ins and outs of coaches in our respective teams. Remember, Yao Ichampon left Elmina Sharks. That was some 2 weeks ago, together with some technical team members. Today, he is the assistant coach of Mediama SC, together with Yaprekon, who also was brought in as a stopgap coach at the Accra Great Olympics when the main man, Anoaka, wasn't feeling too well. He has also joined Mediama SC as a head coach. For Elmina Sharks, they've brought in former Black Stars player Ni Odatelamte as the interim coach, and yesterday he made his debut for the side in a grand way by beating Kumasi Asante Kotoko by a 1-0 at the Indom Stadium. Still, with coaches Accra Heartful also in the week, outdoored or announced the signing of Samuel Bodu from Mediama SC. So now he is their new coach for the Phobians. He started training with the team on Wednesday, and his debut is tomorrow against Wafa. So we're going to look at all these, plus the matches proper on the field. And joining me as always to do this is James. So James, good morning and thanks for joining me.
Good morning, Benedict. It's a pleasure to be on your screens this morning.
Well, let's start from your club, Accra Heartful. You must be very delighted the fact that, yes, the NCC, the National Chapters Committee, as well as many of the fans, including you, were calling for a local coach. Now you have a local coach in Samuel Bodu.
Well, it's a delight to have a coach who, for the past 4 seasons, which includes the truncated ones, has been one of the best on the local team. We were not just calling for a local coach, but who will be able to steer affairs of this great club. We all know the pedigree of Accra when it comes to African football, but for over a decade now, we have been a pale shadow of ourselves. So getting Samuel Boadu and someone with his pedigree, we all know how he started and how gracefully he's climbed the ladder of the technical aspects when it comes to football in the country. So I think it's a delight. And let me borrow the words of Togbe Afede. I think it's a match made in heaven. He needs Accra to to make the strides that he wanted to make in his coaching career, as well as Accra as a folk, also needing someone with his technicalities to steer the class from its current dominance. So I think we are happy with the appointment of Samuel Boadu.
He has signed a 3.5-year deal with the club. What would be your advice to the board and management, especially when they are used to sacking coaches when things are not going well?
Well, I think we should embrace ourselves for ups and downs. A dynasty will not build in one season or half a season. I think the chopping and changing of coaches in Accra as a folk must cease. We need someone who will be able to have the free hand, at least a minimum of 1.5 season, to put things in perspective. Buy the right players, nurture the good players. We all know Samuel Boadu is a very good coach who loves to also nurture players. And for us to have the full benefit of his tactics, have the full benefit of his expertise, I think he needs the free hand. So what I'll say for now is the supporters to back off Samuel Boadu for a while, for him to be able to imprint his ideologies into the team. And I think we need to understand the fact that currently Accra Suffolk is not a good team. We have one or two players who are playing good, but we don't have an overall good squad. So he needs the time and the freedom to make sure he poaches the right players for the right positions, and then we'll pick it up from there. It's just a matter of time.
His first game is against Wafa tomorrow at the Accra Stadium. How big of a game or a test is that for him?
Well, he knows Wafa. He's played them a couple of times, both home and away. He's never lost to Wafa at home grounds before, and I don't think tomorrow will be the beginning of that. It's a very big game. It's a very dicey one, but Wafa, we all know, and as the stats also suggest, they've not been able to beat Accra at the Accra Sports Stadium. So it will be a very good test, or it is a very good test for Samuel Boadu to kickstart his Accra Suffolk career. But I think he will be able to steady it successfully. He will be able to win the game and then kick his Accra Suffolk career going.
Okay, so let's move away from Accra Hartlepool and talk about Media Mercy. Do you also see the appointment of Yahweh Champion as assistant and then Yapreko as the head coach of the team a mismatch?
Well, honestly, when the news broke out, it didn't make sense to me personally, because we all know Yapreko's role when it
Okay, so it looks like
Ghana football.
Okay, so James is
he's
back.
been an assistant and weeks of a club. Yeah, sorry, I was saying when you look at the two coaches, their head-to-head record in the Ghana Premier League as head coach of the various teams that they were, I think Yao Champion stands tall. So for Yao Champion to be made the assistant to Yao Preko, I beg to differ about it. It doesn't make sense. Technically, it doesn't make sense. Who will take instructions from who? And if we don't take it's a explode.
Well, let's quickly do that of Elmina Sharks. Now, your champion left them and was going to take the assistant position job at Media Mercy, and the man who came in as the interim coach, that's Odate Lamte, yesterday started on a very good note, beating Kumasi Asante Kotoko by a goal to nil, and by virtue of that result is Asante Kotoko's first away defeat in this season's Premier League. He has started on a good note. You think he can do it? Hello, James.
Like Odata, yeah, hello, can you hear me?
Okay, yeah, I can hear you now.
Yes, with somebody like Odate Lamte coaching a youthful side like this, that's all the motivation that they need going forward. And yesterday I watched the game. Kumasi Asante Kotoko did not particularly play well. Credit must be given to Odatelante and the boys, how they were able to marshal themselves well, position themselves well, and then deal with the threats that Kumasi Asante Kotoko posed. But your senior coaching career than a win against Kumasi Asante Kotoko. So I think it's a very good start for Ni Odatelante going forward. He would love to. He would love to be on for a while to coach at the top level. We know he's been coaching, but at the youth level. So now it's an opportunity for him also to announce himself into the Ghana Premier League. So getting Kumasa Sante Kotoko is all that he needs to really surge on.
Okay, James, before we move on from the Ghana Premier League and briefly pick your thoughts on the Black Stars team and then we'll let you go. What do you anticipate this weekend in the Ghana Premier League?
Well, so excuse me, Karela against Diana. They've also chopped and changed their this weekend. I think Karela will be able to walk over them because the last time Diana went to the Elmina, they lost by 2-1. So it's different from Pfizer against Liberty Professionals. 17.
Okay, so it looks like we're having difficulties hearing James. So are there issues with network? We'll try and re-establish contact with him so we can continue with that conversation. But he was taking us through the Ghana Premier League, what to expect this weekend. We've talked about the coaches that have changed hands from their clubs to the other teams. But on your screen, it will be on your screen pretty surely the matches that will come your way. So 2 already done. We had the Inter-Allies Ashanti Gold yesterday at the Accra Stadium. That was at exactly 3 p.m. That game ended 1-1. And then Elmina Sharks in their game against Kumasi Asante Kotoko ended 1-0 in favor of the home team. So we'll have Karela. They will come up against the Diana Stars. Ken Faisal, Liberty Professionals. Chelsea will take on Media Mercy. Hearts of Oak Wafa will be at the Accra Stadium. And then Bechem United, the Bisondos will be in Bechem. And 11 Wonders, Legon Cities will have Dreams FC will take on Accra Great Olympics. All coming up tomorrow. So I've been joined in the studio by my colleague Sawin Saki, and we'll take you through the Ghana Premier League as well as the Black Starlights and other pertinent issues here on the show. If you're able to get James back, we also will get his thoughts on the Black Starlights team as they go up against Uganda in the finals of this year's Africa Under-20 Cup of Nations. But Sawin, thanks so much for joining me.
Great.
Let's start with that Kumasi Asante Kotoko Elmina Sharks game. And you saw the pitch.
Well, I mean, where we are is even better than the pitch, I can tell you, but it's quite
this is artificial.
But even Karela's pitch is artificial.
Yeah,
fantastic. But it all comes to the fact that how many times have we been speaking about pitches? The people that watch the league, where people who are in charge of these facilities, they know what to do. So if they are going to allow that to happen, it's up to them. But the pitch is the first one we want to sell if we want to sell our league very well. And if we are going to be showing these pictures to the world, then Ghana football, I don't know where we want to go at the moment.
Okay, so James is back on the line. Let's try and finish out with him. So James, you are taking us through what to expect this weekend in the Premier League. Hello, James. James, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. Okay. Yes, I can hear you now. So take us through what to expect here.
I was saying sorry to our viewers.
That's fine. That's very fine. They understand.
As I was saying, I think Accra folks should be able to steer through Wafa on Sunday. But the game of the weekend, it's certainly Dreams FC against Great Olympics at the Theatre of Dreams. Dreams FC are having a fantastic season so far. They've gone a couple of matches without losing. And I think at home, they are yet to. They lost one game at home and they've steered past all the rest 5 with victory. So, and Accra Great Olympics are not particularly a well-organized side when they travel. Their away wins have all come at the Accra Sports Stadium. So I think it will be a very good encounter between Dreams FC. But I think the Dreams FC have enough firepower to far past Accra Great Olympics tomorrow. So I think we should be able. We should get ready for a very entertaining weekend. Just that it's really sad that some of the pitches that we witness the matches on are in a very, very, very bad state. But nevertheless, I think we will watch a couple of interesting games this weekend.
As for the pitches issue there, if you want to talk about it, we'll spend a whole day talking about our pitches here in the country. Even the Accra Stadium pitch is not anything to write
It's
home
not in
about.
good state.
But briefly, I mean, the under-20 are in action against Uganda tonight at exactly 7 p.m. Can they win it?
Yeah, I think fundamentally we've not done the things right, but results-wise we are getting it. But it will be a very, very good and entertaining game. I wasn't much impressed with our last two encounters, despite we winning them. The good thing about the whole thing is that the boys showed resilience after losing their third league game, group game. They came back strongly and then being able to qualify to the finals. It's a good test for Karim Zito. It's rather unfortunate that there's no World Cup, but I think they will be able to clinch the trophy this time around as well to complete the double. That's Waffle and then the Youth Championship itself. It will be a very feisty game, and the oppositions are well drilled side, and that's where my issue is. At a point, we realized our boys were not playing as a team. By individual brilliance, we wouldn't even be in the finals or semi-finals to even begin with. So it will be a very good game, and I wish they are able to put their heads together, lift their head up, and then soar high against their counterparts.
Okay, James, as always, thank you so much. We really appreciate your time here on the show this morning. So that was football analyst Jim Soa with his perspective of the Ghana Premier League as well as the Africa Under-20 Cup of Nations finals, which will be happening later this evening between Ghana and Uganda. So you're still here on Playmakers on MX24. We are still on, and that's the issue of the Ghana Premier League. But I was talking to Selwyn about the state of our pitches, and as you mentioned, I mean, since we are broadcasting to the rest of the world and want people to put in their money, we should try and get the basic things done.
Yeah, if we want to sell, simply put, we have a lot of talented players, and at the moment, the way football marketing and selling of players goes on, the first thing you want to do is sell the pitch to whoever you are selling your player to. They need to see that kind of football. It adds value to the player, because if the player is playing on a good pitch, you know that he's going through.
Because in this Kumasi Asante Kotoko, Elmina Sharks game, the quality of the pitch took a lot out of the game.
Exactly. I mean, players that would like to put the ball on the ground and pass more, it distracts all that, because sometimes you hit, and if the pitch is bumpy, he doesn't get to receive the ball very well, trapping and all that. It's a very difficult thing, and it spoils the development of our players. And if someone that was attracted to your player wants to buy and he sees the kind of development the player goes through, then he wouldn't spend so much on it. Because
no wonder in so many years we've not had players from the Premier League moving to top European teams.
We used to have Liberty players going straight to Italy and France, and then it's not done anymore.
Well, your club are quite hard to folk now. Costa Papage gone. They have Samuel Boadu. It looks like they are trying to do some good things at the club.
I think Samuel Boadu is a young manager. He's coming up. You saw what he's done at Mediama. Looking at his background, he's a developing coach. He came from Ascot Deportivo. Where he did very well over there. Now he's going to Mediama. Muspaka had a great relationship with him, and he did very well. We saw that if not for the league being truncated, there were certain times that they nearly won the league. So,
twice.
So he's a coach that, given the opportunity, if Accra's folk will allow him to do what he wants to do with the team, develop some of the players, and play the style of game that he wants to bring into Accra. So I think if 3.5 years, if he's able to do that, I think Accra Folk is going to get to a different level.
He was at Mediama for 4 years, and it wasn't in their plans to even sack him. He actually resigned. Do you think Hearts will give him that opportunity that he got at Mediama to stay for that long? Because you know the history of at Accra Hearts Folk. If we play 3 matches, defeat, then you know the coach is on his way out.
And that has been a problem. And if you have such inconsistency, you don't get the team to gel all the time, because if a new coach comes in, he goes and and the team has to restart all the
Yeah,
time.
exactly.
But listening to Togbe, he said that they will allow him to do whatever
They
he has
have
to do his coaching, but then they still have, as board needs to put in appropriate
Of course.
like contributions to his work. And that was a bit that's like still saying that, oh, you can do your job, but if you want to say something to you, come and say it, and that's a bit distracting. But everywhere in the world, the board always have a take in technical issues. So, but if they're going to allow some Obodu to have the free hands to get the players that he wants, I think this across the team is going to gel very well.
Especially when they've said that he can get his own backroom staff, get his own players. So there won't be much of, if I can put it in quote, interference in his job at Accra House, which would be very good for him. And I'm looking at the club giving him that opportunity, that long-term opportunity to work. Not that if results are not going well, they say, oh, you've played 5 matches, you've lost 4, you've drawn 1, so you are not a good coach. You know, Jurgen Klopp at Liverpool is having a very terrible, season, but he's still the manager of the club.
Exactly.
Because last season he won them the UEFA Champions League previous seasons, and then won the English Premier League, something they've not done in 30 years. So, I mean, these are things that we pray that the club will learn from. But before we go to the English Premier League, let's talk about the Black Stars team. Have you been impressed with them at this year's tournament?
No, definitely not. I wouldn't even sugarcoat it at all. This under 20 team hasn't been the best that we've seen in recent times. Their first game against Tanzania was good, 4-0 was impressive, but looking at their next games, then we have to now question the quality of the Tanzanian side. But playing against Morocco, we saw that they drew, sorry, and then they went to Gambia, a team that we're expecting them to win, and they lost in that one. But going into the next round, when they're going to play Cameroon, we all thought that Cameroon, a host nation, with all their players and the performance we've seen, we said that, oh, Black Satellite is already out. But then we went through penalties, and then we faced Gambia again. We had to give up a revenge, and Karim Zito said that his advantage was the fact that the Gambians had won the other game, so his team were more determined with their revenge character to get it themselves through, and that helped in a way psychologically, and it took them to the next round. But playing against Uganda, that Ugandan team is also very, very, very strong, and at the moment...
But I mean, before you talk about Uganda, isn't it just about winning the tournament, or we should be more focused on development at this level?
At the moment, if you look at the fact that normally playing this African tournament, the semi-final, if you get to the semi-final, you know that it's the World Cup we are going. So playing in Africa, the next one is to just qualify for the World Cup, because the World Cup is the biggest place where you can prove yourself. So coming here, I think it's more of development. And when we saw that, oh, we don't even have to go to the World Cup, but we need to try and develop the players, because if you look at this team, it's more individualistic, and if you want to go forward and bring under 20s a team that always moves to the Black Stars, we need to have like a team that they are playing very well, but we can't see any job, we can't see any pattern of play. It looks like a bunch of quality players somewhere spotted in there, some players like Fatau, maybe Ball give you a special free kick somewhere, but there hasn't been a quality of core players that we've seen in other teams, like the 2019, where you can tell that these players are playing together, they are playing to a certain way, where Salastete develops all those fantastic players. But coming for this team, we've just seen individuals putting the one in there. The game against Gambia, Fatau had to just play that long-range shots. These snippets of quality is what has sailed us through, but I don't think this team is somewhere we consider, oh, we have another 20 that we can build into the next Black Stars at all.
All right, so we'll go for a break, but when we come back, we'll look at Selwyn made a very good point at the latter part of his submission that the next Black Stars, we have another 20 that we can look forward to building the core of the next Black Stars. We'll look at this crop of players and this team and see how best the likes of Andrea Yu and all those players that won the 2009 Nations Cup, went on to win the World Cup, and form the nucleus of the Black Stars team. We'll look at that and see if we can get that from this very team. Don't go away, we are back after this break. so you're still here on Playmakers on the MX24. I'm Benedict Owusu. I'm in the studio with my colleague Sawin Saki. We've been joined via Zoom by two lovely ladies, Nanama, and Esther Owusu. Ladies, good morning and thanks for joining us.
Good morning. How are you all doing?
We are doing very fine. Thanks for asking. Esther, you are new to us. Which team do you support?
Oh, I'm an ardent Manchester United fan.
Hey, if you have not added the ardent, all right, okay. Thank you very much. Nanaya, are you there? Nanama, sorry.
I am here, Benedict.
I hope you're good.
I'm good.
Yeah, I'm
How are you
doing
doing?
well.
Nanama, you're a Chelsea fan, so it's good we have you, especially when these days Chelsea are doing very well under new manager Thomas Tuchel. It feels good to be a Chelsea fan, right?
Of course.
Yeah. Tell me more about it.
I mean, things have taken a good turn for Chelsea. You can see that the team is refocused and they are working hard to get the points. I mean, it's not as beautiful as it used to be with the 4-0s, but then with 1-0 against Atletico, against Liverpool, we're still walking away with 3 points, which is what is most important. So I guess maybe with time, the points will add up, and I'm happy with the progress so far.
Okay, so I'll come back to you then. We'll look at if Chelsea can finish in the top 4, and you also will give me your teams that you think will finish in the top 4, because we've got 11 games to the end of the season. But for you, Esther, now Manchester United at the points were flying, and I'm sure you were one of those people that thought that, Charlie, we can win this season's Premier League. You've played 10 games and you've won just 3. What has happened?
Well, for starters, I think the issue has always been with our coaching. I always say it because Ole looks like a decent manager for us, but honestly, he isn't delivering to our standard. And then at a point, yes, we were flying high, we were getting the points. We were even top of the league at going for it. And then all of a sudden, we just threw our points away. And then Man City is in the forefront to win this league. And once you sit back and then analyze everything, you realize that everything has been from the coaching, seriously, because I wouldn't want to blame it on the players that much, because Ole has a lot of good players at his disposal. You have Bruno Fernandes, you have Wan Bissaka, you have Marcus Rashford, you have all these I won't say world class, but like decent players who are better than world class players, and then you can't use them to get the points required for us, and then it's actually causing a lot of mishap and then uncertainty in the Man United campaign.
Okay, so with how things are with how things are going, do you fear United may not finish in the top 4?
Oh no. As for the top 4, I think we are in a good position.
You are in a good position. Are you sure? Because your next game against Manchester City, should you lose that game and for Chelsea, I should relax. Okay, please talk to me. Talk to me.
Okay, with the top 4, I think we have higher chances of securing that, because though Chelsea are catching up, Leicester is like 1 point or 2 points away from us, and
it's just a point between you and Leicester.
Catching up a point, actually, yes, but I think Ole wouldn't want to blow this away and then send us back to Europe. No. I think he would want to improve and then secure the top 4.
But do you admit it's possible to be outside the top 4 after the season?
Well, it looks possible, because the points accumulated so far isn't so far away from other teams catching up. So though it might be a blow in the gut for us to exit top four. I think we are in a good position to
We're in a good
secure
position.
it.
Okay.
Yes.
And for you, Nanama, for Chelsea, it's a done deal, right? Because having played, how many games has he played? 9 games since he took charge. 8 in a Premier League. He's not lost a game yet. He's drawn 2 and has won the rest. Went away to beat Liverpool at Anfield, a place that, well, these days is not even a fortress anymore. So I was expecting that to happen. But you think that your team at this point are in a good place to make the top 4 this season?
Oh yes, very much so. When in every team there's a new manager, all the players are trying to be on his good side, and you can clearly see that happening in the Chelsea team. I think by the time that it wears out that he is the Chelsea manager and he's come to stay, it will they would have finished the league and they would have performed and gotten used to him and how he operates. I think that Tuchel has made a great impact on the Chelsea team. You can see the fighting spirit once again. They are in good shape, and I don't think that they would exit top 4 before the season ends.
Your next game is against Everton, which, of course, is like playing for 6 points because Everton also are around that top 4 spot and they are also hoping or seeking to enter the top 4. That will be very difficult.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but then I think that Everton's defense is a bit more porous than perceived, and so Chelsea will be able to penetrate with the likes of Werner and Mount and Ziyech. And the pace Chelsea has is very intimidating. And I think that looking at the performance against Manchester United and Liverpool, it's something to look back at and say that Chelsea can actually beat Everton or maybe even draw with Man City at this point. Maybe I'm being too ambitious, but that is what I'm looking at.
Okay, so for you...
I actually feared that they would concede against Liverpool and Manchester United, but that didn't happen to my surprise. And so I think that they will do very well against Everton.
Okay, so for you ladies, we're going to do 2 quick things and then I'll let you rest since it's a Saturday morning and you're not in the studio to talk plenty so that you can rest and do other things. So I'll start with you, Nanama. The first one is the game involving Manchester United and Manchester City. Who wins it?
Not for anything in the world. I know that Manchester United fans are really optimistic about this game, but I think they shouldn't because, looking at the form Manchester City is in currently. Now, when you talk about derby games, people don't want to talk about form, but this is something that you can't overlook. Manchester City's form is been so incredible to overlook, and for me, it's one of the main factors to look at and say that Manchester United really doesn't have a chance of even walking away with a point in this game. City will be targeting their 22nd win in all competitions this Sunday, and Pep's team is in an incredible form, and I would be surprised if Manchester walks away with a point, honestly.
Okay.
And you can see it in the past 2 games. Bruno Fernandes has been sort of the pivotal in changing the game for Manchester United, and whenever he drops, like the whole team drops, the creative source is not flowing, and they are not able to deliver when they play against non-traditional top 6 teams. So I am thinking that going into this game, Manchester City is going to win. Maybe not with many goals, but they'll win.
Esther, I'm sure you're not happy with Nanama, the fact that she says you guys are going to lose to Manchester City. But being realistically, you think you stand any chance at all in that game, looking at the number of matches you've played and the form that City are in?
Yeah, realistically, it's a hard call, but in my mind, we'll get a draw. My heart will win. And then, forget about it. But then, when it comes to, derby games, we all know how, these teams, put up their very best in getting positive results for their fans. And But Pep has a really strong and formidable team. Actually, he has the luxury to rotate players. But if you check Manchester City's substitution or bench, it's like a whole different Premier League team
Yeah.
on its own. And then Ole doesn't have that luxury. He doesn't have that luxury to, rotate. He has been playing Bruno Fernandes week in, week out. And honestly, he needs to, adapt, or like get more different players to suit his style of play. And seriously, with how things have been going, we drawing against Crystal Palace, drawing against Chelsea. Well, it would be tough against Manchester, City at the Etihad. But you guys can't overlook the fact that we've been really, really amazing and incredible away from home.
Well, I haven't, and we all haven't. We know very well that you have been incredible away from home this season. The last
That
time
is
you lost, yeah, the last time you lost was to Liverpool at Anfield, right? Okay. But briefly before you take leave of us, for the two of you, I'll start with you, Esther. Yes, we know we've got 11. I'll start with you, Esther. We know we've got 11 more matches to go, and we will be doing this more. But which teams do you think will make the top four? Are you there?
Hello.
Yes, I was asking that. We've got 11 more matches to the end of the season, but which two teams currently perform and whatever they are doing convinces you that we'll finish in the top four? Okay, looks like we don't have a start. Nana, are you there?
I'm here.
Okay, so if you can take that question for me, please.
Sure. So looking at the table right now, Manchester City is clear, and they're definitely going to remain at the top, in my opinion. Manchester United wouldn't want to drop from where they are, so I think they'll be the second on my list. I'm not doing it in order, but I'm not projecting who's going to be second or
Yeah.
third, but I'm just lifting them up. Chelsea, of course, and I think between Leicester or Tottenham.
Leicester, Tottenham. Hey, wow. Not even Liverpool or West Ham.
Oh no! West Ham, I don't think they have that formidable form to get into the top four. Maybe they might surprise us and getting into the top six.
Okay.
But yeah, so Leicester, Liverpool, Tottenham. Yes. I mean,
Okay.
it would be ridiculous not to add the reigning champion.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much. Esther, are you there? Hello,
Yeah,
Esther.
I'm here.
Okay, so can you give us your top four? It's 11 matches to the end of the season, and I know we'll be talking to you often. You'll be coming to the studio, but currently, looking at the positions of the teams and what they are doing, their form, which teams do you think will finish in the top four?
Well, obviously, Manchester City is up there. It's a done deal for them.
Yeah.
Manchester United will also finish in top four.
Okay.
I'm not saying this to be biased or anything, but they will finish in top four. And maybe I think Leicester has had their fair share of woes this season, but they've been really, really very, very. They've been really, really productive, and I think they'll also finish in top four. So United, City, Leicester, and maybe let's see what Chelsea can pull up with together. So maybe, yeah.
All right. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
I love that. So we definitely will get you girls ladies on the show often. This is Joseph's production. So we'll go for a quick break. When we come back, we'll finish up with Selwyn, and then you can also call in and interact with us. Don't go away. All right, so you can call us. The number to call is 0550 331 511, 0550 331 511, or 0204 730 481, 024 730 481. Those are the numbers you can reach us here on the show. But I'm still here with Selwyn. And Selwyn, you heard Nanama and Esther go at each other with the top four and also the Manchester United-Man City game. I mean, it's obvious that on paper, City are favourites to win this one.
Oh, yeah, of course. Even current form, people say that it's a derby and so we shouldn't talk about form and all that. But if you look at the current form, City are on fire at the moment. Yeah. And if I look at Manchester United at the moment, haven't been able to score goals.
20 games unbeaten.
Okay, so now let's, in the attack, City are scoring, United are not scoring. Now let's go to defense. United defense hasn't been the best. If Lindelof cannot compete with the striker from West Brom and he concedes, or Maguire doesn't know where to position himself as a captain of the club in the defensive role, then I don't see where it's go. Compared to Manchester City, if you look at Ruben Diaz and John Stones, the way they are marshalling the back.
Even Laporte comes in and he's still the same.
Man City are crazy. And everybody knows that United are coming to play counter-attack. They're coming to sit back. Pep Guardiola is aware of that. All of us all over the world know that. So definitely he's going to find a way to stop that counter-attack because he knows Rashford, James, Martial are going to try and run behind his defenders. He's going to position the defenders in a way, but that's going to prevent that.
Okay.
But they're going into attack. We don't know how they are going to even destroy United.
All right, so let's go to Tantra Hill and speak to Bright. Bright, good morning.
Good morning, Benedict.
Oh, Chantan, sorry. Let's hear you, sir.
It's a good day. Well, I want to talk on the Black Satellite.
Please go ahead.
Okay. Well, a lot of talks have gone on that the Black Satellites are not putting up that quality play, flamboyant play, and all that. But you see, Benedict, I think the orientation of football these days for me has changed. It has been all of the time. It has been results. You look at Liverpool and how they are all of a sudden struggling in the league. Now the Black Satellites are in final. Let's forget about that philosophy that we are talking about. Forget about the kind of play that we are. Even if we are talking about philosophy, can somebody tell me the philosophy Ghana has got in the last 10 years or in the last 20 years? We certainly does not have that. So now that they are in the finals, what we have to do is to just support them. We should forget about the philosophy, all of us talking about that free-flowing football. And after we have clinched the trophy, then we can come back and sit down and say, look, this is how we want to go. And I believe we are inches away from bringing the cup home. But Benedict, I think I WhatsApp you once. I'll still get in touch with you.
Okay. All right, okay. Thank you very much. So let's go to Gakope and speak to Selam. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning, Benedict.
Yes, let's hear you, sir.
No. Well, actually, I want to touch on. Yeah,
Please,
good morning, Benedict.
Please come again.
Well, actually, I want to touch on the Black Satellite game.
Please go ahead.
Yeah, I just want to, encourage them that they should reduce or remove that kind of complacency among them and then make sure they do today against the Eagles of Uganda. And also touching on the English Premier League, I'm expecting, Manchester United, Chelsea, together with West Ham, and then Leicester City to be in the top four.
Okay. All right, thank you very much. So you can also call, the number to call is 0550-331511 or 0204-730-481. So do you fear that should Manchester United lose this game, they may not finish in the top four? Because Chelsea are coming, Leicester City also are coming, West Ham United and Tottenham Hotspur also to a large extent, and Liverpool are still in it.
Yeah, it's a big worry because this game has an effect of killing their momentum with the draws that they are going through. If they are to lose this game, I don't know how they are going to pick themselves up for the next game. So it's a very, very typical game but as a derby, even if they lose, it's up to the coach and his players to know how to get themselves back if they are Manchester United. Well, they've been able to come back all the time, but the consistency has been United's problem. Yeah. But if they lose this game, by City's form, by how much they are going to lose, whether by 2, 3, 4, 5, anything could happen when it comes to Manchester City. You don't know how much you're going to concede. But if United lose this game, it has a big problem on them going into the next game because I don't think Chelsea is going to lose their momentum Liverpool will also try and pick themselves up. The Leicester's also going to try and do everything. But with the Premier League, it's always here and there. Until the last day, you can never tell.
Okay, so let's pick another caller. Good morning. I understand you are joining us from Joaboso.
Yeah,
Okay, your name, please.
I'm from Abraham.
Okay, Abraham, let's hear you, sir.
Yeah, I want to talk about the basket tonight.
Please go ahead.
Yeah, you know, when you talk about the basket, they are the heroes for the Black Star. So we need a solid team so in case we win the cup, we can get the next Black Star. Look at then 20, the day are you and those who went for the World Cup at season. They won the cup, but you ask yourself that why are they players now? All of them, they are missed from the system. So we need a black, like if about 5 years or 6 years that we can break into the Black Star. Because the way Ghanaians are preparing our team, I don't think we have a future for even the Black Star itself. You ask yourself, if you come to our local league, when we get a striker coming up very strong, go to this Olympics, they have started, they have told him, if you go to a dream, they have told their striker this, so I've forgotten the team at the voter reading. So we don't have strikers for the Black Star now. You ask yourself, because when the striker is coming up, instead of the managers and GSA make sure they hold the striker and manage him very well, they just let it. That can go outside from the country. And when he comes back, the future is destroyed. As of this Adia and the rest, and the goalkeeper who was in the pool for even the under, where is he now? So,
He's in Ethiopia.
As you're speaking, you need a Black Star material, not just winning a cup. Thank you.
Thank you very much for your call. I think we can still do one more call and then we'll call it a show. But briefly, let me run you through the matches to expect in the major European leagues this weekend. In the English Premier League, the early kickoff today is the Burnley-Arsenal game, and then we'll have Sheffield United. They will come up against Southampton, and Aston Villa, Wolverhampton Wanderers, Brighton, Leicester City, West Brom, Newcastle United, Liverpool, Fulham, Manchester City, Manchester United is tomorrow, Tottenham Hotspur, Crystal Palace, another big one, Chelsea, Everton, also a big one, and then West Ham United will come up against Leeds United. These are games in the English Premier League this weekend. So we can check that of the other leagues, and we have the Spanish La Liga. One game was played yesterday with Valencia beating Villarreal by 2-1. Real Valladolid Getafe is this afternoon. We have Elche Sevilla, and then we have Cadiz Eibar, Osasuna Barcelona, Huesca Celta de Vigo is on Sunday. Tomorrow, Atletico Madrid, Real Madrid, big one, the Madrid derby. And then Real Sociedad, Levante, Athletic Bilbao, Granada, Real Betis will come up against Deportivo Alaves. That will be on Monday. And in the Serie A, Spezia, where Emmanuel JC, who has been on some amazing form, plays his football, they will come up against Benevento today. Udinese, Sassuolo, Juventus, Lazio, they will be hoping to close the gap between them and Inter Milan. AS Roma, Genoa, Crotone, Torino, Fiorentina will come up against Parma, with AC Milan away to Hellas Verona. And then Inter Milan on Monday will come up against Atalanta. What a game that will be. In the Bundesliga, last night, Mainz 05 drew goalless with Schalke 04. Borussia Mönchengladbach Leverkusen is today. Frankfurt, Stuttgart also today. Leipzig, Freiburg, Hertha Berlin, Augsburg, and then Dortmund, Bayern Munich. These days, because of their form, I can't say if it's a big game, but still, since they are the two most successful clubs in the German Bundesliga, we still will be looking out for that. FC Cologne, Werder Bremen on Sunday, and then Arminia Bielefeld will come up against Union Berlin. All right, so let's pick our last caller, Godwin from Awishi. Godwin, good morning.
Yeah, good morning, boss.
Yeah, let's hear you.
I want to contribute to the...
Please go ahead, please go ahead.
With the Manchester City Man United game. Yeah, we have to be firm to ourselves. Man United have been poorly this season. And it will take us a miracle to get a trophy this season. I think we should just forget about the league and focus on the Europa.
Okay.
Because on paper, Manchester City is on form.
You said forget about winning the league.
Yes.
But you think you can win the league? What Manchester City are doing? Hey,
no, we can never win the league.
Okay.
I'm a Manchester United fan, but we can never win the league. we can never win the league.
Okay.
It's the Europa League we have to focus on. And let's see whether I can get a miracle. Because if only one city can drop, we have to win a trophy
Okay.
for us. And that's the Europa we can focus on. Anytime we get to semi-final, we get a boot. So we just forget about Manchester City game, even we know we are going to lose, and just focus on other trophies.
Okay.
I think that's what we can do this season.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Thank you very much.
Thank you too for your call, and thanks to all those that called in into the program. Thanks to you out there for doing the watching. Say thanks to Selwyn and thanks to the ladies, Nanama Ayena and then Esther Owusu, Joseph's friend. So same time next week we are here to give you everything you need to know in the world of sports. We couldn't talk about the Confederation of African Football elections. Now 3 of the 4 candidates have withdrawn, so it's left with 1 person. And if Ahmad's issue at CAS does not go his way, what it means is that Patrice Motsepe of South Africa will be the next president of the Confederation of African Football. I'm sure tomorrow Sami Battles and the guys will do more on that on Off the Cuff from 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. I'm Benedict Owusu. Thanks for watching and stay blessed.